Okay, so here we have Corrine's piece. It's called, whoops, I have to get over here. It's called Magic Garden. I'll get in really close here so you can see it. It's a bunny, and he's surrounded by some stitching. And what's really interesting is that she's done this on a type of fabric called cyanotype. So she can draw on it, and then when she puts it out in the sun, it turns blue in the background. So I'll get a little bit closer here. I love this piece. Her work is always so fun. She spends a lot of time drawing, and as you know, Nana doesn't do that so much, but I might start to try. So this is Magic Garden by Corrine. Okay, here we are. It's kind of hard to see because this is called Purple Petals. Pam did a whole series of these little tiny, smaller quilts, and this is a really good one, Purple Petals. If you know anything about color theory, you'll know that yellow and purple are opposites on the color wheel. And they work off of each other and make each other pop out. All right, now we're around the corner, and here are a couple of Nana's out of Africa pieces. If I get up here close, you can see that I've used an African charm and some beads and some stitching, and the stitching was all taken from the pattern was taken from a Nigerian mudcloth doll that I have. And then here's the stitching over here. Whoops, where's the other guy go? Here he is, he's over here. Each one of them is a little different. This one has an elephant, a bone carved elephant, and some pieces of malachite, because I used to have a whole lot of beads from the African trader. And here's two more of Nana's African things. Same thing. The stitching, the pattern is all the same, but I've used different threads and organized it a little differently in each piece. And there's your elephant, and some beads at the bottom, and beads at the top in my charm. And then next door, we have the last one with some brass things, and the beads, and the stitching. All those beads that I used in these pieces I bought from the African trader a million years ago. This is my friend Gayle again. And she calls this red-blue collage. You know, collage is when you put a whole bunch of something together. Nana's crazy quilts are kind of like a collage. I put fabrics together. Gayle did as well. Let's get in here close, and you can see that she has put some fabrics together, and then she's done just some stitching on them, whatever she felt like doing. She calls it slow stitching. There's a reflection from outside. I don't know if that's going to show up here or not. And then there's some flowers of fabric I gave her. I love to be able to give people fabrics and then see what fun things they do with them. So if we back away again, whoops, that gets closer. Forget which way we go. I have to back up here. All right, this is one of Carol's shawls. It is absolutely, number one, it's gorgeous, but number two, it is the softest thing in the universe. It feels so good. She used the log cabin thing again, and she just calls it Docs 2, D-O-C-S. I'm not quite sure what that means. And then at the bottom, she's got all of the fringes have been braided together. Come up like this. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I wish you could feel it. Here we are. Where's to get close in? Here we go. This is Daffy O'Dilly, another one of Pam's small quilt pieces. Get a little bit further away. There you go. The last one of Pam's is another one of her small ones, and it's called Winky Periwinkle. Periwinkles are purple flowers that come in the spring. They're part of a ground cover. At Carol's clothesline, she just was bound and determined she was going to show all of her hand towels on a clothesline, and so Paca figured out how to do it because that's what Paca does. Come up closer, you can see all the different patterns. There's a couple there and there. There's another one of those yellow stripy ones. These are all different patterns and weaves, but a lot of them using the same colors. It's amazing how you can make something look different by just changing the pattern but using the same colors. Right next to it is one of Nana's pieces. It's called Hatfield House 2005, because that's when I took the picture. Hatfield House, I'll get in here closer. You can see all the stitching on here. There's 19 colors of thread in that brick wall. I'm very proud of that. So Hatfield House was a place in England where I visited, and it's where Princess Elizabeth waited to hear about the death of her sister, Queen Mary, also known as Bloody Mary. And when Mary died, Princess Elizabeth became Queen Elizabeth I. And this is, I love this because of the wisteria. Okay, the lighting isn't so good in here, but this is another one of Carol's black and white shawls. It's just a little bit different than the other one. The pattern is somewhat different. The colors are obviously the same. I'll come down here. Lighting is better down here. I've got the braids at the bottom. You can see the chairs are up because the restaurant's not open today. Again, I wish you could just feel how soft this was. Then we have a whole row of Nana's little jeweled windows. This is, I named them by the colors. So this is, or the jewel. This is olivine. And next to it we have turquoise. Let's see if I can get up here. And then we have amethyst. The next one is peridot. And this one is lapis. Let me see if I can get up here. I'm having to lean back because they're up pretty tall. And the last one is pearl. These were, I made these, they're all something called pulled thread, and they're tiny. And it's fun to try it, and I love the colors. And then I got to use up beads, and I changed things around because that's what I always do. All right, I have to stand way, way, way back because this is one of Gayle's quilts. It's called No Dogs Allowed, and it's a strip quilt, as you can see. And I am always so amazed because she puts colors together that I love, but it's nothing I would ever do myself. So, I mean, that's part of why I like this group, is because everybody is so talented and everybody sees things in a different way. And she has stitched on every one of these strips. Not anything fancy, just a little bit, but just to highlight what's there and make it pop out a little bit. This is another one of Gayle's. This is called Purple on Green Collage. And if you get close, if I get close, whoop, you can see that it's all stitched on the edges and sometimes in the middle. And it is all collage. It's just all of these quilting fabrics. She has a ton of quilting fabrics, obviously. And she puts together colors in a ways that Nana never would. And I love what she does. So if we get back here, we can see the whole effect. This is the last one of Paula's pieces. This is called Blue Vase, because obviously it's blue. If I get in a little closer, we can see. I can also walk a little closer without running into the table. Yeah, she's got all of this stuff down here, all of her surrounding stuff, and then her vase is in the middle. It's all felted with different colors. It almost looks like a mosaic vase that she's managed to use to create the impression with different things. And then all of the stuff around the outside. The last piece is Nana's Hawaiian quilt called Kama'aina, which means native born, because of course I was born there. And I think you've probably seen this at my house. It was out in the workroom where you were working on your overalls. So there's all different kinds of stuff in here that means something to me. In the middle, here's a picture of the boat, some fabric of the boat that the Hawaiians used when they discovered the islands. Now up here a little bit further is the Little Dipper, which they used as navigation. And then there's Tapa. It's the paper mulberry cloth. Tapa, Tapa. And then away. And then I surrounded it with birds. Here's an Akipa from the island of Maui. And there's other things on here that my dad made. Up here is an apapane, which is one of the most common birds. And it's drinking out of a lehua flower. Up at the top we have, where is he? Those are silver swords, endangered, and there's one blooming. And then down here is a nene goose that live in the up on the sides of Haleakala, ancient volcano. And then further down we have an iiwi, who's another honey creeper. They all have curved bills so they can get inside. And then at the very bottom, over here, oh, my arm's getting tired, we have a wahua flower and a ohia tree with wahua flowers, because that's one of the first things that grows in lava after it cools down. And then it's surrounded by plumeria, also called frangipani. And if we get back, you can see that it looks like a lei that's surrounding, and the octagon shape kind of is reminiscent of an island. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.